This is definitely interesting. We're all gonna kind of learn some things together. So I'm learning with some of the stuff just as much as you are. But all of my stuff today is characteristics of mammals, and we're just going to go through a few note slides, and I'll do a little talking, and that'll be it. The next day we'll do a few more. I'm going to have you guys watch some videos. I'm going to have you guys do some small assignments. The overall goal of this is to just kind of move forward a little bit. I'm not going to make you do two hours worth of stuff. I'm asking for 15, maybe 20 minutes tops of science every day that we should have school. So that I don't think that's too much to ask, and I'm trying to make it as easy for you guys as possible while still moving ahead. Okay, so go to my webpage and click on the links, and all that should go good. But this is definitely interesting. It's kind of cool because we're taking our own education into our hands. So you guys are responsible for yourselves, which is kind of cool. It's almost like college where you're in charge of yourself. So make yourself better, not just with science, but with everything. Use this time. I know Netflix is fun, and I know gaming and all that stuff is great, but use this time. It's kind of weird for to make yourself better. Whether that's I'm going to read a little bit each day, a half hour a day, or my wife and I are doing like a little exercise thing every day since we got a little extra time. So take this time to make yourself better. So when all this passes, we're good to go. So, you're better than what you were at the beginning. So anyways, we'll start with characteristics of mammals. Last week, or a couple weeks ago, we were into birds, and we just kind of finished that up. By the way, with all your old assignments, don't throw it away or anything. I don't have any way for you to hand it in now. We'll worry about that at a different time. So for now, just keep that, and we'll figure it out later. But characteristics of mammals. All mammals are warm-blooded, just like birds. Birds have that internal temperature of 104. Mammals are going to be different. We're 98.6 degrees, give or take. Every mammal might be slightly different, but it's going to be right in there somewhere. We have to burn fuel, burn calories to keep our body at a constant temperature. If it gets cold outside, our body temperature stays the same. If it gets hot, our body temperature stays the same. We're going to either sweat or shiver or whatever to keep our body at a constant temperature. With this whole coronavirus thing, you might one of the symptoms is fever, 102 fever, which might seem like, okay, that's only 3.5 degrees more than normal, but that's a huge deal for us to vary our temperature by 3-4 degrees. So warm-blooded. All mammals are going to have hair. Some may have a little bit, just some fine hair, like dolphins and whales. Others might be completely covered, like your dog, like a bear. One of the main functions of hair is to trap in body heat and keep warm. You think about a bear, for instance, it's got to withstand some cold temperatures, seal in its own body heat. Another one, and this is kind of interesting, but hair will also keep like your dog cool. For example, if you have a hairy dog like a Newfoundland or a Bernese Mountain Dog or something like that, you're not supposed to like shave it during the summer, because that long hair, they have thick long hair, will actually keep them cool by keeping the heat out. It almost act like a cooler, keeping their body heat normal and the outside heat out. So those are some common uses of hair. Other ones like eyebrows, eyelashes, for things like a camel, It's to protect its eyes, to keep the sand from getting into it. So there's different uses of that, and all mammals have hair in some way. All mammals are going to produce milk to feed their young. Most mammals, when they're first born, the only thing they can really take in is milk. They're not going to eat other food. They might not have teeth, or all of their teeth. So milk is the way they get through nutrition. And most mammals will actually, when the offspring is born, give off this thicker milk called colostrum, which is full of antibodies to help build their immune system, keep them from getting sick. It's high in fat to start building them up from birth. But all mammals are going to give milk to their young. Most mammals are going to have specialized teeth, which are designed for what they eat. Just as a reminder, herbivores only eat plants, carnivores only eat meat, and then omnivores like us will eat a little bit of everything. And our types of teeth, we have incisors. We as omnivores, we have all kinds of teeth, all the different kinds, because we eat a little bit of everything. But our front four teeth are going to be incisors. They're the front four on the top and the front four on the bottom, and their basic job is to like snip or cut whatever you're eating into smaller pieces. So like if you're eating a carrot, you obviously probably can't fit the whole carrot in your mouth at once. But if you bite it with the incisors, it'll snip it into smaller pieces, which then you can continue to chew. Your canine teeth are the pointy ones. We as humans have two on top and two on bottom. They're on the sides of the incisors. They're the pointy fang-looking ones. This is for most of the time ripping and tearing flesh, meat. You'll notice that animals that eat meat, carnivores, usually have carnivore teeth, and they're usually really big. For example, your dog, I'm sure, has longer canine teeth than you, because it's meant to rip flesh. It's a carnivore. And then molars are the teeth you have the most of. Those are the ones further back. They're flatter, and they're meant to grind things up. It can be plant material, it can be animal material. Most of the time, it's plant material. Herbivores like a horse or a cow, they pretty much, outside of a few incisors, they don't have canine teeth, but they'll have just rows and rows of molars, which will mash up their feed and their grain and grass really, really well. Some of you at some point will probably get your wisdom teeth pulled. What wisdom teeth are is an extra pair of molars that you get in anywhere from when you're 12, 13 years old to 22, 23. You'll get extra wisdom teeth back there, and a lot of people have them pulled because they can push your other teeth, or they can get infected, or things like that. All mammals will have a four-chambered heart. Remember, chambers are different compartments, are rooms. We have the lower ones, ventricles, and the two upper ones are the atrium. And typically, the more complex an animal, the more chambers that their hearts have. So we had talked about reptiles having 3 chambers. Mammals are going to have a 4-chambered heart, which is very complex. And then well-developed lungs. All mammals, because we don't ever breathe with gills. We do have gill slits early in development, but we never actually use them. But we don't use gills. We can't breathe through our skin. So our lungs have to be really, really good for us to get our oxygen. If they're not, then it's not going to go well. And this in the womb, as humans, it's one of the last things to develop. So some of you maybe were prematurely born. And if you're premature by several weeks, your lungs might not have developed completely inside your mother. So the doctors might have had to give you like a steroid to help them continue to grow and develop, even though you were already born. So premature babies often have to have assistance breathing until their lungs can continue to develop. On the evolutionary scale, mammals are the most recent things on Earth. About 200 million years ago, a small mammal lived with the dinosaurs. After the dinosaur extinction, then mammal populations continued to grow and become more and more and more, and evolve into bigger creatures. So remember, the more complex an animal on the evolutionary scale, the less time it spent on Earth. The first animals on Earth were very simple critters, and then they kept evolving to more complex things. But we'll call that good for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.